At Lincoln University, we have a minor known as Black Studies minor. It takes 18 units to get. It's a minor that can enrich your major. For instance, if you're a business major, it may help to make you more attractive to any business that you begin to try to get a career in. Or even if you start your own business, it may assist you in figuring out how to be most productive in the community of African descendants, that is, of black people. But it may also help you in international relations. It may help you in political science. It may help you in history in terms of focus. It can also help you in sociology, and if you're going to go into the health careers, it can help in terms of how you serve in the black community or community of African descendants. It's a field that will also enrich your experience in the arts, but not only the arts, also in the sciences. We're right now trying to create a course of Africans in science and blacks in science and black engineers at Lincoln University. We don't currently have the course, but we do have some other courses that can help enrich your experience and awareness of people of African descent. Most of our courses are history and political science courses, but there's a significant number of those courses that are also in the arts and humanities and in the English area. So I encourage you to consider Black Studies as a minor. At some point in the near future, we may have it as a major. We've had it as a major twice in the past. Some of the courses that you may want to know that fulfill the minor are African American Experience, Introduction to Black Studies, and History 205 and 206, which are both the history of African people in America, Part 1 and Part 2. Finally, in terms of required courses, you have to take one of the following courses: Political Science 205, which is African American Politics, or you can take Black Psychology, which is Psych 208, or Sociology 208, which is Political Anthropology of African Society. After you take the 12 units, let me repeat them: 3 units for African American Experience, 3 for Introduction to Black Studies, 3 units for either History 205 or History 206, which are African American histories, and 3 units for Political Science 205, which is African American Politics, or Psychology 208, which is Black Psychology, or Sociology 208, Political Anthropology. Then you have to take 2 more classes worth 6 more credits. The total number of credits is 18 units. The electives, those 2 credits that you have a choice between, are from the following: History 307 or 308, which is the history of Africa 1 and 2, each worth 3 credits, but you can only take one of them for the minor for credit. If you're a history major, you would take both anyway. History 211, which is the history of the African Revolution, or 212, which is African American History number 3. That deals with the more contemporary history of African Americans. Then there's also a Black Studies 405, which is special topics, usually done with the suggestion of a professor or in collaboration with the professor. English 319, which is called Survey of African American Literature. English 320, which is Studies in African American Literature. English 321, which is Contemporary African Literature. English 322, which is African Americans in Broadcasting. That is now listed, I believe, as Communications 322. Political Science 304, which is Comparative African Politics. Religion 307, African American Religions. Religion 310, which is a specific course on Dr. Martin Luther King. Sociology 321, which is Ethnography of West Africa. Art History 375, that's African American art. And Art History 376, which is African art. Now there's other classes at the discretion of the Black Studies Committee that can be approved. Now there are other courses that you can take for approval, but you need to get the approval of the chair of the History, Philosophy, and Political. Now there are other courses that you can take, but before you take them, you need to get the approval of the Black Studies Committee and the chair of the History, Political Science, and Philosophy Department. Again, while you're here at Lincoln, you should take a Black Study. You should consider a Black Studies minor, because there are things at Lincoln that some other schools don't have. For instance, our special collection library in the first floor of the Langston Hughes Memorial Library. It's a special collection that many schools don't have. Graduate students come here and researchers come here to take advantage of that library. One of the questions that many people ask is, what can one do with a degree in the area of African American Studies or Pan African Studies or Africana Studies. I want you to take a look at the booklet that comes with this video. It's a booklet that talks about people who've taken majors in African American Studies and things that they've chosen to do in their life. There are many opportunities when you study this subject. After all, African people and people of African descent are important topics to study. They're worth your study. They're worth your focus. So I hope that this video has been helpful in some ways in explaining just a little bit about what it takes to be a minor in African American Studies or Black Studies at Lincoln University.